setting them up for a big letdown, because when they go out into the world and the world is not doing that for them, they're now going to be like devastated. And their response to that now is going to have consequences. And they're going to be disappointed. And I'd much rather my child learn from me about disappointment by way of, we're talking about things. I'm not saying yes to everything. We're working through things in order for them, when they go out and somebody says no.
Hi, it's Tiffany Lorraine Galloway, and look who's here, my co-host.
Hi.
Sewell.
Yes.
I went on a trip, and the new year kind of threw off our groove a little bit, but we're back.
So we are back, and it's still the beginning of a new year, even though, a couple of weeks have passed. We're kind of settling into 2026. So yeah, it's good. It's still the possibilities are amazing for all of you ladies that are watching, for Tiffany, for myself. We're up and running.
Yep. Yeah, we hit the ground running for sure. Well, welcome to February, and this month's theme is empowerment. And today we thought it would be great to talk about a young mom and what's changed over the years. So we were discussing it, and like, Catherine's got older and a younger child right now. I kind of have 3 age gaps. And even during periods of times, a lot of things have changed. But there are some universal truths for being a good mom. And then there's all these other factors that have changed or evolved, or we know better, or just the culture or technology that is available that wasn't there before. So with that, Catherine, why don't you share your story and the differences right now?
So I got this question because since I became a new mom again in my 50s, and I was a lot of people know my story, that I was a single mother at 26 to 3 children. So they're all grown ups. I'm a grandmother also. And so I was kind of like just losing my mind when I became a new mother in my 50s. And I was just like, what am I going to do? I literally was losing my mind. And so I started to look for my tribe. And my tribe is not the women that are my age, because they're grandmothers, or they're traveling, they're doing whatever. They're like living how I thought I'd be living. And the younger moms are not my tribe either, because, what they're thinking and what they're doing. I mean, I have to interact with them and do stuff because I'm in their world, but I find there's so many differences as well. And so I went on a search, and I found a couple of groups on Facebook, which literally saved my life. Over 50 mom, over 40 mom. I started with the over 40 mom. I got out of that real quick because they were like, I'm old, and they were 41. I was like, shut up. So I ended up with the over 50 moms. And we just got a question the other day that I thought was so interesting. And the question was, what are the differences now as an older mom than when you were a younger mom? But also the question included, what were the pros and the cons? What were the pluses and the minuses? And I thought, oh my God, that's an amazing question, because I sit a lot, and I think about it. I contemplate all the time, the big differences. So what I said was, first difference is that I do have more time. I have more time than I did when I was younger. Absolutely. I have more time to spend with her. I have more time to dote on her. I am present. I'm there. I'm absolutely. So that's a good thing. I also have more money, which is good. Also, I'm not a single mother this time around either. So I have a support system in the form of my husband, and he and I work together. And that was not my reality for most of my young life as a mother to my first 3. But so that's a plus. Those are some pluses. But the minuses are, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. My body is the age that it is, regardless of how your mind feels or how you look. I look good. My body is still like, girl, you know how old you are. My knees at that age. And I just turned 58, by the way, December. So, put that out there. 58 years old. I'm doing good. It's a 1967 model. It's a good model. I'm happy about that. But at the same time, I am the age that I am. So I don't have the energy that I used to have. Um, and I worry a lot more about little things, than I used to worry about because I had so many things to focus on, survival, basically. Let's feed them, let's clothe them, let's house them, just get them to school. And so that's kind of like some of the things that I talked about. And then I also think some of the differences for me too is you're always kind of looking over on that side to what you could have been doing. And I think all mothers or all parents would experience that. That's not anything unique to an older mom or a single mom or whatever. You're thinking on the side, what I could be doing, and then having to come to terms with that and reconcile that, they're amazing and I'm so blessed and all of those things. So some of those things were some of the things that we were talking about in my over 50 Facebook group. Ladies, if you're over 50, over 40, look for these groups. They will help you for real. But yeah, it kind of helped me put things in perspective a little bit.
Well, and I think we got to find our tribe. I think I created this podcast just because I needed more positive mother influences, ideas, and I wanted to share my story to empower other people. I want something positive because the thing about it is like my motherhood didn't turn out at all like I was told it would. I thought it would.
Yeah.
It got turned upside down, sideways, and stretched me out. But it's still my motherhood. It's still sacred. It's still what I get to make of it. And so it is what it is. And so we're here for you because we want to give you tips, strategies, ideas of finding your own tribe, finding your way so that you can be the best mother that you want to. And that doesn't matter what circumstances you're in, because motherhood is sacred. And don't let anyone tell you different. That it
is, and it's powerful. It's powerful. Like I talk about this a lot. The power that you have as a mother. Like you're literally shaping the future.
Yes,
as a parent. Period. But because we were talking to this is the Resilient Mother podcast. We're talking to mothers mostly. Yes. But there's this power, and with that power comes responsibility. And, whatever you're putting into these little people is what's going to come out to those big people. And so all the big people that we meet every day, that we interact with, those are people that were little ones. And so, the power that we have and the power, the ability to recognize that is so super important, because then, you kind of get out of your own way a little bit. So I think it's a great topic for this theme of, empowered, because as mothers, we have to be empowered in order for us to empower. And you talked about your motherhood journey. We all had motherhood journeys when we were children. And so we're kind of sitting as a result of things that were poured into us or were not, and how we either do it the same, we do it worse, or we do it differently. And I think that is also something that is so empowering, that you have the ability to do different. You have the ability to do as much or as little of the things that happen to you. And I think like that, when I think about that, and I think about my own journey as a little girl growing up, and some of the good stuff that happened and some of the things that were not that great, how I could change that as a mother. And that was very powerful. And so now as a mother, again, even at this age versus that age, like you said, when you introduced the topic, there are some similarities. There are some basic principles that still need to exist, even in the midst of all of this newness and all of this stuff that we didn't have. I didn't have when I was, a 21-year-old mother for the first time, and a 26-year-old mother of 3 facing the world on my own. Life is very, very different.
Do you just feel stuck? It's the new year. You expected some change, but the motivation, the momentum, it's just not there, and you can't figure out why? Well, you might want a life coach. Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm a certified high performance coach and have been for about 3 years now. And I can get people results in small mini coaching sessions. Give me 30 minutes of your time. Let me show you how you can get a breakthrough and transformation by having someone help you see what you can't see and hear what you might not be hearing in your own words and in your own story. You're the author of your story. Let me help you take back your pen and start writing the story you actually want to create, to thrive in your life and feel alive. Text coach to 435-294-5456 or shoot me an email over at resilientmomrising@gmail.com. We've got the solution for you.
Absolutely. But at the same time, even though I have flowed with the changes, I am still the same person. And so, the same as in my foundation, the things that I believe in, the things that I feel strongly about. And so those are the things that I still continue to put into my toddler right now, because I want her to be a decent human being. I want her to be compassionate. I want her to be, careful. I want her to be confident. I want her to love life and just all the things that I wanted from my first three, that batch, I want for her. And so some of the things that I have to change, are also challenging, right? Because she has an iPad. She probably knows how to work that better than me.
Right? Yeah, they do. They do. They know how to do things.
Like, what are you doing? But it doesn't mean that I'm going to let her sit on that for hours and hours and hours. I'm not going to let that raise her, because sometimes I'm looking and I'm like, where are you looking? Give me this thing, and I'll start like, where'd this come from? And then I'm realizing, you got to put some things in place in order for her not to be able to access certain things. So, and also to give her time for her brain to be creative, to play differently, because, my first three, they didn't have this iPad thing. They weren't, zoned on this one thing. So even though it can be easy, to just leave them and they're quiet, still, parenting is a job. It's work. It's work that you put in. So you still have to be like, nope, I can leave them on that, but why should I?
Yes.
Right? What can we do now? Can we do a puzzle together? Can we color together? Can we do Play-Doh together? Like, I'm buying all sorts of little things to make her use her hands. Like, my three used to do a lot of Play-Doh and they used to create things. And so even though I could not do that and just use this technology that's so easy for us, I'm not doing that. And so I think all mothers would be able to recognize that, how smart they are. And somebody called her an AI baby the other day. She's like, she's tricking me, It's like, yeah, that's those AI babies. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Makes sense.
2020 babies. So I've heard the 2020 babies are different. Yeah, like,
right.
So I would have to agree a little bit, but it's my first boy, so there's a lot of differences.
Right.
So my one and only boy, most likely. But yeah, I mean, technology has consequences. Everything that we do as a parent has consequences. But I think it's really important with everything that you said to realize that there's real power in the home.
Right.
Society is going to change in the right direction. It is in the hands of parents and mothers in particular. And so when we give it over to technology and we're not monitoring and we're using it as a babysitter, it's a big problem. Now, on the other hand, moms need breaks. So it's this fine line that we walk across of making an option safe, but a parent still has to be available. A parent has to be able to watch if they're playing outside. A parent has to be available if they're sick or different things. And And they can't just sit there and watch something without there being a consequence to their brain and their development.
Exactly.
We're meant to act and be human. Some of the countries that are doing the best with education are not implementing screens.
Right.
There's no science to back that it's better to have a screen yet. We don't, for young children in particular, especially. And when I look at my son, who's very smart with tech, definitely knows how to do stuff I don't know how to do, knows what all the cable names mean and goes around and plugs them in and knows and stuff that like I kind of
where did he get this from,
right, he's just figuring it out. I mean, the kids learned that he can find things on YouTube. Now I have YouTube blocked for the most part, but he does understand, hey, if I want to learn something, I can go to YouTube and I can figure it out. Like, that's amazing that is an option and that can be a tool. But at the same time, if it's not monitored, what in the world could they get into? Right. And so it's that balance of, this is a tool. How do I want to use the tool, and then we know too much screen time has been detrimental to kids.
Well, and I just want to inject this, like, we don't want to leave the care and the, I guess, concern for our children in the hands of people that didn't have them, that don't have that love and care for them. And especially technology does not have emotions. So if your children our children are just having access to all of these things that could possibly, ruin something in here or expose them too fast, and as a result their life changes, that technology is not there to say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So we cannot leave that up to an entity that cannot take responsibility. The responsibility will always have to be on the parents or on the people concerned for those children. And so we can't take the easy way out. As exhausted as we can be, I look forward to 8:30 at night, where I'm like, all right, let's get to bed. Let's sit you down for the day, so that I can, at least have a moment. And it's not a long moment either. So, because I'm done.
Well, and working in the school system, we're having a lot of children now being integrated into regular classrooms who have autism, ADHD, different things. They're not as separated. They want them to learn how to be in society. Makes sense. Right. But it's also super distracting to the kids that don't have those things. And technology actually enhances those problems and makes behavior problems worse. And so it's interesting to see how each school is dealing with that and what the philosophy is behind it. Like, we're kind of not completely there on how do we customize education and maybe use AI to customize a plan for a child. That actually sounds great. But how much of the technology is involved versus a teacher? Why aren't we enhancing the teacher's ability to customize education? Why aren't we giving teachers more resources? We still need teachers to teach children. And there's homeschooling as well. But even homeschooling, parents are really thinking, what curriculum, what's proven, what's science-backed, what will actually get my child ahead? Because I've been public schooled, homeschooled, and private schooled, and homeschooling was a joke. I got handed a book about architecture. How is that going to get me a degree? Yes, it's a book. It's a hard subject, but that wasn't a core subject that led for a GED, or that was going to lead to a diploma. So I begged to go back to public school because I wanted to go to college and I didn't want something standing in my way. But I had to ask for it because I had seen the other paths and I had seen where other kids had got GEDs, but it didn't lead to where they wanted to go. And so the world's changing every day on where kids can go. There's exciting options. And so much of it is going to be developing that individual and letting them enhance their skills, because it's
absolutely. But once again, even though things have changed, like, we still have to have our children grounded in reality. So our children think they can be an internet sensation. Just like we thought that, I thought I could be the next Whitney Houston. I remember singing my whole life, always being chosen to sing from primary school, elementary, middle school to high school, always been the singer, always the person. And in my yearbook, my high school yearbook, good luck, you're the next Whitney Houston. And I think Whitney Houston was like a few years before me, like literally a few years, because, of my age. And so even those days, and, and the boys wanted to be basketball players, or they wanted to be rappers. Well, these days, the kids actually see people being internet sensations. Like my daughter, she's 3 and she's into Nastia. There's this girl called Nastia, and she's not a YouTube sensation. She's a YouTube influencer. She's from Europe. Because you can hear an accent, and I don't know if she's living in the US. I have not looked her up enough. But I've started to realize that her family has been filming her since she was a little girl. Because I just, like, she's maybe about 12, 13 now or something, or I don't even know what she is now. But that's what we were watching recently. And then I started seeing some with her without teeth in the front. So that means she was about 6, I guess. So people, your kids are watching it and thinking, I could do that. But you still, as the parent, have to ground them in reality. So even though my sons were like, I'm going to be a rapper, that's great, but you're going to be an educated rapper. So, so I wasn't trying to kill the dream, I'm going to be the next Will Smith. Yeah, great. But you're going to be educated, you're going to finish school, you finish high school, you're going to go to college, and you know what? Then go be great. Go be whatever you need to be. But at the end of the day, in the event, it's always in the event that doesn't happen, you're still going to have something that you're going to be able to survive with, and not just survive, but thrive. And so I think even in this time, we have to be so careful, because there are so many trappings around that would make children believe that they can be this thing without any hard work.
Too. In that stage of development, their imagination is wild, for a reason, to let them explore the world, but they will believe it's reality. So it's really dangerous if we don't take the time.
You have to ground them in reality. Exactly. Exactly.
Because we have a world that's obsessed with what's not real. It doesn't show that little girl, for example, has a dad who knows how to run a camera, who knows how to set up a scene, who does all the editing that puts that up. You become a YouTube sensation. There's marketing involved. Like, so we don't see a lot of the legwork.
Exactly. But we the adults know it. So we the adults know. So that's why we have to be the person that grounds them in reality, because we know, look at this podcast. Look what we're doing. Like we want 1 million people to watch this now. Like, it is so great. It is so amazing. It could help 1 million women or 500,000 women. You know what I mean? But the reality of it is, will 1 million people watch this? We pray. This is 2026. Let's do the thing. But the reality of it. So a kid, is looking, and they're like, yes, it can happen. Like you said, you got a dad who can run a camera. They probably have some connections. They're doing whatever, and they're getting up every day and doing it. It's consistent. Yeah. So someone has said, you know what? While you go to work, honey, and make the money, I'm going to do this with this kid. Or while we take this inheritance from our parents, it has to be something. It's not just every day that you're running your life and you just find this time. That's not the truth. And like, I think one morning, exactly. And luck, let's not mention that. One morning, my baby woke up and she was like, I want to watch Nazi. I was like, no, we're not going. She went to bed the day before watching it. And that's how I saw like the little teeth. And I was like, she's been around a while. Yeah. And so she wakes up in the morning. I said, no, we're going to watch Baby Boss. We're going to watch Despicable Me. We're going to watch a movie. We're going to watch a show. We're going to watch something that, we're going to see play out. I don't want you to just be watching people's lives every day. That was important for me because, and I think like I have to keep that in my mind, that even though she's 3 and it's so cute, no problem. Like, no, it is like, because that's messaging in her head over and over and over. And it is so sensational. Like, I mean, there's these playrooms that they have in the house. Like, we're not going to get that playroom in this house. Like, your room's not going to look like that. No, we're not going to have like a massage therapist come. It's not going to happen. So
it's not real.
So before you get caught up in this thing that's real, because your little brain is so impressionable right now, I'm going to be the adult and I'm going to say, no, here's what we're going to do. And I think as a parent, we have to be that serious, about this job. It is the most important job that you will ever have in your life. I don't care what else you're doing. I'm a social worker. I went back to social work just to get out of the house.
Well, I'm going back for a master's degree in elementary education. It's really interesting to be in education right now because there's really kind of this need for a new point of view. We know some things are not working. They are not serving the youth. They are not getting the results. We've got kids going through school not able to read.
Right.
And so it's interesting as a parent because my kids have all read early, but I started them from the womb. Like I took responsibility. I wasn't going to wait until school was going to catch them up.
Right.
I was going to start that work at home. And I'm a really big fan of the Montessori method. So I learned about that. I applied it in my home. Like I just was intentional with my parenting.
Yeah.
The ways that I could.
And that's it. Intentional with your parenting. That should be a buzzword.
Yeah.
For every parent. Be intentional about your parenting. Be purposeful. parent on purpose. Like let it be like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to put my mind into it, and I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to think about strategies. It's going to be something that I'm thinking about. It's like a get rich scheme. You can't just get rich. You got to be thinking about the scheme. So let's think about our intentional things that we are doing to grow these people that are going to be functioning on their own sometime in the world. And we would have been responsible for that.
I think that's that perspective that we keep bringing, and it comes up on a lot of episodes, is this is an individual you're raising to become an adult and live their own life.
Right.
When it is skewed at all, and this is your mini me, you're going to live through your kid. They're a trophy. They're an object. You own them.
Forget it. Yeah.
It's not.
And it breaks my heart when I see it. It breaks my heart when I see people doing that to their little kids. Like the little kids are little ornaments, and how they're dressing them like grown-ups. And, the little girls are looking overly grown, or even the internet, you'll see it, and they'll be like, there's almost this over-sexualization of them. And I know, right away, no, that's not what it is. That little skirt is too short.
Yeah.
Why is that little child showing that much? Why is that little child being able to speak like that? And get that child off the internet. Get that child understanding that she's 10, that she's 9, that she's 8. Protect that child.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, I'm going to sound like an old fogey because I'm reading the comments, and the comments are all, oh my God, you're so cute. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that's a nice. Oh, and I'm like, you people need to just stop. Get off the internet. Stop it. But mostly it's me that needs to get off the internet, apparently, because I'm the person that, that's messing everything up. And I'm like, this is crazy. And these are people that are parenting the next generation.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So,
there's I believe some Netflix things about a generation being overly like given too much and feeling entitled and being made.
And everything's offensive.
Be that way. And
yeah.
And it's not going to serve anything, because how are they going to be individuals outside of that environment you've created?
Right.
Are they going to be able to go out in the world and have somebody cater to them like that?
No,
they're not.
No, and you're setting them up. You're setting them up for a big letdown, because when they go out into the world and the world is not doing that for them, they're now going to be like devastated, and their response to that now is going to have consequences, and they're going to be disappointed. And I'd much rather my child learn from me about disappointment by way of, we're talking about things. I'm not saying yes to everything. We're working through things in order for them, when they go out and somebody says no, or somebody, is realistic with them, they can go, okay, no problem.
Yeah. And
instead of being devastated.
You cannot take away pain and all the struggle in their life. And they will not build any resistance. They will have no tolerance for anything that is negative.
Yeah.
And why suicide is so high.
Right. And and there's a thing that, is talking about that, the new generation is so soft. And, there was this comparison about Generation X, which I'm from, and millennials. So Generation X, millennials, it's millennials, right? Yeah, millennials. Yeah. Let's say it 10 times and get tight tongue. But so Gen X was latchkey kids. Like we literally were going home by ourselves. Like you fall, get up off that floor. Jack, shut up. You don't have any problems. Like I'm not saying that's good. But we were tough because of it. Because we were being raised by baby boomers, and baby boomers were coming from, the other generation that was kind of like supposedly home with them, and the, home cooked meals and all. I don't know where it went, where it ran off the rails. I don't know. But I think with Gen X, like, I think we're quite tough with Gen X, where, we know it's not all about us. It was never all about us. Like you're seen, not heard. It was all of these things. Like we grew up thinking we were just garbage. Honestly, like our parents had us so steeped in reality. Like, you shut up, you please, you don't know nothing. And so when we started to parent, we were like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to protect them. And to the point that we just soften them up so much, almost that
Yeah.
like
Bubble
you
wrap.
can't say anything. So it's so funny because my daughter and I, not the 3-year-old, the 31-year-old, she and I were talking because she was like, "It's your fault. It's you guys' fault." It's like,
Get your resilient fix in 2026 with Coach Tiffany, now a nationally recognized certified personal trainer and also your high performance coach, host of the Resilient Mother podcast. You can now train with her in person or online. Just text train to 435-294-5456. You can also find her at the Sports Academy in Logan, Utah, or you can email her at resilientmomrising@gmail.com. We'll see you soon, Resilient You.
you guys do not get a pass for us being this way. You guys do not get a pass because I think she's Gen Z and then there's millennial. She goes, you don't get a pass because we were raised by you guys. And so the time when you were trying to protect us so much from not experiencing what you experienced, you all went overboard. So you were overindulgent. So at this time in our lives, we need to scale it back. We need to pull back. We need to get some stuff from the baby boomers, get the stuff from Gen X, get some stuff from there and balance it out.
Things. I think that's the key. They need to earn things. And in an age where instant gratification is a second away, they need to learn to earn things. Like
they do.
I made my son read a book to me before I got on here and before he was allowed to have a distraction because I've put that in place before. And I'm honest, I've been good and bad about it. But I just am really realizing we've got a generation where kids don't even know to turn the page. To books. At public schools, no. Kids are trying to do this to read. They don't.
I was trying to do that with something. I was trying to open I was trying to do this for I'm so used to my phone zooming. It was someone showing me something. I literally it's a real picture. You won't get it closer. You got
books. The brain needs to write. The brain needs to do.
It does. It needs to process. It needs to process stuff. It needs to process stuff. And it needs to understand patience, and it needs to understand the work that it takes to get something. And even Christmas time, I this Christmas I was like, okay, this kid has too much toys. Like she has too much gifts. So I said, we're not buying anything. We're buying nothing. We're not going to buy anything anymore because I don't want it to be that, look, because she's just chucking them all over the place. It's just like, no, I don't want it to be like that. Life is so easy. I want, because life isn't so easy. Life is hard work. And, when you achieve stuff, it's because you put the work in. So, and I just think that's our responsibility as parents. And, so if anyone
so
has
much
any
more now about experiences, really being present for those small moments in life has so much more value than the things the world is putting value on today.
Absolutely.
Show off stuff, big stuff. Like, no, it's that little moment with your child cuddling that where they told you something about their day and you were there. That's priceless. Right. And I think I'm a little more sensitive to it than most because of being a birth parent. Because when I got to be a parent again, everyone was like, it'll all be better. Everything will be better. It was bittersweet. It was such a reality of what I lost. That exchange and how precious what I had was. And I don't want people to have experienced that level of heartache and pain of losing a child, being separated from a child, or having a child go so off the rails to wake up to the moment that they're in and the opportunity that they have with their child in this moment right now. It's fleeting. They grow up so fast. And we can't let technology steal that away from us or steal that away from their own future of being present for their own lives. Their lives are amazing. They're the only little person in the world that is them. They're only
genetic makeup. That's it.
They're walking miracles. And if we don't let them know that, how are they ever going to feel their own power and be able to be out in the world?
Absolutely. And us as parents, that's our responsibility.
Amen.
And that's our biggest job. And I think we're going to talk about on another episode, we're going to talk about all the jobs that we have because we got a lot of jobs. But our first job, if you're a parent, that is your priority. So, this time around is no different than that time around. I was very serious about it then, and I'm very serious about it now. And I'm so proud of my adult children, and I'm just looking forward to helping this little one on her way to being an amazing adult too.
Absolutely. And I'm married, not married, single, I'm still mom.
It's
I'm still going to show up.
Period.
And that is the universal thing that will be true. Take care of yourself, mom, so you can take care of your kids.
Yes.
And home is where you are.
All
and
the time.
Home
Period.
is where all the power is. What happens between the four walls of your home is going to make all the difference in the way that your children feel empowered as they go out into the world.
That's it. And you are enough. You are enough for them. You are a rock star to them. So just bask in that and just do the best that you can every day. Just show up.
Amen. All right. Well, thanks for listening to us today. I'm going to edit.
Yeah, and we're honored that you're listening, by the way. So thank you.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you here. Please let us know things you would like us to talk about, get guests for. We are leveling up in the quality and the value that we're adding in the newsletter and in these episodes. But we'd really love to hear from you, the audience, of what you want to hear about, what guests you would love to have on, or come tell us your resilient mother story and inspire another mom.
Absolutely.
We'll see you on another episode of the Resilient Mother Podcast.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can share this message. We are a worldwide podcast with guests all around the world, and we want to continue to grow this community. You can find us on socials. You could also be a guest. Look for that link below if you'd be interested in being a guest on the podcast. If you know a sponsor or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me or Catherine as well.
Sure. We want you all on this journey. We want to hear your stories. We want to share your stories. We want to gain strength from each other because together we're stronger. And to never forget the blessing of being a mother and what we're creating. We're creating the future every single day of our lives. So get on this train with us and let's do this thing, moms.
I believe in you. Believe in yourself. God bless. And we'll see you around. Take care.